All right. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. You're coming on. Welcome to the Ramon Preston Show. Please do me a quick favor. Hit that like button. Hit that share button. Tag Lolly, Dolly, everybody. And let them know. I'm just making sure my lights are good. Let them know that the Ramon Preston Show is live. Happy Friday. Good afternoon. Hit that like button. Hit that share button. Tag somebody. And let them know your boy, Ramon Preston, my squad. We are live right here in the beautiful Buckhead community of Atlanta. Good afternoon, good afternoon. Make sure my mic is good. Welcome to the Ramon Preston Show. Also, ladies and gentlemen, please put in the comments what city you're watching me from today. I would love to know what city you're watching me from today. And I want to welcome you to the show. I'm excited about the discussion that we're going to have today. For the past couple of days, I've been talking to you about certain aspects of coaching and consulting. And today, I'm going to talk to you about how to package and price your coaching if you're a coach. If you're not a coach, it's good for you to know about the coaching business, because at some point in your career, at some point in your life, you're probably going to want to have a coach. So please do me a favor. Put in the comments what city you're watching me from today. Appreciate all of you for joining me. My hope and expectation is that you have had an extraordinary week. Our week here at Ramon Preston Enterprises has been absolutely amazing. We've had an amazing week. And you know what? Every day is amazing for me because I have an opportunity to get up and to do what I love to do. And sometimes I do what I don't love to do, but I still have an opportunity to get up and do it. So again, good afternoon to all of you, wherever you're watching us from. Thank you for joining the show today. Again, I want to take a minute or two and give you an opportunity to put in the comments what city you're watching your boy from. Let me know where you're watching the show from. And if you are a coach, if you're a coach, or if you want to be a coach, I want you to put in the comments, what type of coach are you? Or what type of coaching are you thinking about doing? If you're a coach today, I would love to know. I would love to know what type of coaching are you looking at doing? And what field of coaching are you looking at moving into? If it's life coaching, business coaching, financial coaching, it could be health coaching, it could be relationship, spiritual coaching. It could be all of the above. But you want to be able to narrow down to at least one or two areas that you know you are strong in, you're dominant in. For me, I'm a business coach. I'm a business consultant. I'm a business educator and teacher. So I specifically target people who are looking to start and structure their businesses, whether it's individuals who are working W-2 jobs, looking to transition into the business world, whether it's people who are in the middle, independent contractors, 1099s who are looking to legitimize what they do. Or maybe it could be business owners who already have their LLCs, but it's not structured correctly. They don't have the right systems and processes. That's the type of coaching, consulting, and education that we provide. So I would love to know not just what city you're watching me from, but I would love to know, if you are a coach, what type of coaching do you provide? And if you're not a coach, maybe you've thought about becoming a coach. Maybe at the top of your mind, in the back of your mind, you're thinking, man, I would love to be a coach. So I would love to know what type of coaching you would like to be or to do, and what type of coaching you're doing if you're already doing it. So let me get started. I'll start by saying, welcome to the Ramon Preston Show. Just in case you don't know, I'm your host, Ramon Preston. Every Monday through Friday, 12 o'clock noon Eastern Standard Time, I come here on this show to give you information. And my hope and expectation is that the information I share with you can somehow help you properly start, structure, and at some point scale your business, your ministry, your income streams, and even your wealth building dreams. And if you are a coach or you're looking to get into the coaching space, I believe the information that I've been sharing with you just within the last few days could be information that you can use to become a six-figure coach and to build a six-figure coaching business. That's what my goal is. My goal is to show you how to become a six-figure coach and how to build a six-figure coaching business. Listen, everybody that I work with, whether it's an individual in their finances or a business owner, an entrepreneur in their business, my goal is to get everybody into multiple six figures, because I've already done the math. And I know that in order for you to really have some level of security and financial stability, you have to be making a couple $100,000 a year. We're talking about at least $300,000 or $400,000 a year before you really start seeing an extraordinary change in your life. But the bare minimum, I mean, like your worst case scenario is, okay, we gotta at least figure out how to get you to six figures. Is it easy? No, it ain't easy. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it. But is it worth it? Absolutely, positively. Now, one of the reasons why I'm bringing this up is because if you understand the business of coaching, if you understand the power of becoming a coach or a consultant and a trainer and educator, like if you just put those three words together, if you learn and start understanding the power of becoming what I'm getting ready to write on this board, if you learn to understand how powerful these three words are when it comes to you building your business, when it comes to you building your brand, and when it comes to you increasing your income. If you understand these three words and the power behind these three words, you would rush to learn everything you can about becoming one. Because all three of these are essentially the same person, but each of these three represent certain things that you do that can all collectively and individually become business services and programs and products that you provide in the marketplace, okay? And so that's why today I wanted to take a few minutes to talk to you about how do you package and price your coaching? How do you package and price your coaching? So I want to start with some do's and don'ts. I want to give you a couple things that you don't want to do, and then I'll give you a couple things that you do want to do when it comes to packaging and pricing your coaching. So today's show is going to be centered around how to package and price your coaching, okay? And I'll give you a couple don'ts and a couple do's for packaging and pricing your coaching. So let's start with packaging your coaching, okay? We'll start with packaging your coaching. I'll give you the don'ts and then I'll get into the do's, all right? So when it comes to packaging your coaching, don't package your coaching based on the project, okay? Don't package based on the project. And I'll explain to you what I mean by this, okay? Don't package your coaching based on the project. So if you are a coach and you're looking for creative ways to package your coaching services, package what you can provide for your clients in the marketplace as a coach, do not, I repeat, don't package based on the project, all right? Why should you not package your coaching based on the project? Well, let me make sure you understand what I mean by this. Every coach every coach looks at a client and they are able to see certain things that this client needs done. And the coach has to make a decision. Okay? Do I want to package my coaching based on everybody's individual project, or do I want some general program or service as a coach that encompasses at least the most important aspects of anybody's project? This is why you don't want to package your coaching based on the project. Listen to this. Project-based coaching is really consulting. So this is one reason why you don't want to package your coaching based on the project, because project-based coaching is really consulting. Now, I explained this in greater detail in my coaching bootcamp, but just to help you wrap your mind around how important this don't is, let me explain something to you. I have a coaching division in my company and I have a consulting division in my company. When I am consulting a client, I am typically consulting that client, whether it's an individual, whether it's a team, or whether it's a company or a group or an entrepreneur, business owner. I'm typically consulting, providing my consulting services to that client based on my assessment of their project. So there may be an issue with their systems that they want to get correct. They don't have QuickBooks for their financial systems. They don't have a project management system. They don't have operational procedures. They don't really know how to deal with their team. Well, once I assess that client, I'm going to consult them or to provide a service to them based on that specific project. So that means there are so many other things that relate to their business I might not even address, because my service to them as a consultant is just based on their project. So I work with people who are consultants. I have a tax consultant, right? So when I talk to my tax consultant or my tax strategist, they are going to consult me based on taxes. So whatever the project is that they're working with me on, they ain't really coaching me. They're just providing a service to me, and that service is called consulting. So when you're packaging your coaching service, when you're packaging what you do as a coach, you do not want to package it based on a project, because project-based coaching is really consulting. All right. The second reason why you don't want to package your coaching based on the project is because every client has a different project, and this will exhaust your effectiveness. So if you're just, let's say, basing your coaching off of projects, let me give you an example. So I'm a business coach, right? So if I based my coaching on projects, here's what would happen. I would have to coach people to file and form their LLC. So that will be one project that I would have to deal with their coaching. So I would have to have coaching just to file and form your LLC. I would have to have coaching based on helping you with systems and processes. So all of these are different projects, right? Let's say I would have to, let's say if you don't have operating agreements, if you don't have products and services. So all of these different things here could be considered separate projects, right? But if I'm coaching people based on these separate projects, what's going to happen is it's going to exhaust my effectiveness. Now, why do you think this is going to exhaust my effectiveness? Can you imagine me coaching somebody just on filing and forming their LLC? So what happens is I get exhausted and I become ineffective because I'm trying to be too many things to too many people, where I have to have certain coaching packages that force all of this into one, even if one of my clients don't need an operating agreement, even if one of my clients don't need their LLC filed in form, well, I'm not going to separate those two from these other ones just because I have a client that doesn't really meet all those criterias. I would prefer to have a coaching package put together in a way to where they choose which box they want. If certain things that they don't need or want, they just don't accept it. But it's still going to come with the package. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because I cannot exhaust my effectiveness by breaking up all these incremental granular things that I do as a coach. And now I'm essentially consulting people under the guise of a coach. So I hope that's not too complicated, because if you're a coach and you're doing what I'm saying you shouldn't do, you already know how hard it is, and you're probably not making a lot of money doing it, because it's hard for you to dissect and compartmentalize all the things that you do, and you're trying to coach people on this, on that, on this, on that, on that, and now all of a sudden you have like not one coaching business, but you got like 80 different coaching businesses, and you're exhausted and you're not effective. Okay, the third reason why you don't want to package your coaching based on the project is there is no definite timeline to certain projects. There's no definite timeline to certain projects. So a lot of times when I am consulting a client, I try to squeeze a timeline in because my consulting is based on the project, whatever the project is that me and my client we're working on. So it's hard to put a timeline to certain projects, especially when you don't know what's going to happen. So I can put a project together with a client, and I'm consulting them. And we can say, okay, it's going to take 3 months based on our assessment. But that 3 months can turn into 6 months. But if I'm coaching people like that, and I'm supposed to get everything done in 3 months, but again, I don't have a certain timeline because I'm treating my coaching like a consultant, where I should have spent 3 months with a client, I'm gonna end up spending 6 to 12 months with a client, and it's gonna dilute my effectiveness. It's going to drain my resources, because if I'm building my business out based on coaching people for a certain time, and it's going twice as long or 3 to 4 times as long as I thought, think about all the money I'm spending and the resources that I'm spending and exhausting just to try to service that client and maintain my reputation and integrity. Okay? So again, when it comes to packaging your coaching, let me say it again so it can make sense to you. Don't package your coaching based on projects. You should not be providing project-based coaching. I tell this to my clients all the time, and I still see a lot of my clients that I've coached and consulted who still do the same thing. Okay, but you don't want to package your coaching based on the project. Why? Because project-based coaching is really consulting. You should be providing consulting services based on projects that may not have a definite timeline. Number two, since every client has a different project, this will exhaust your effectiveness. So now if somebody comes to me and they got one project that they want me to work with them on, and they say, I just want you to coach me on this, it's my responsibility and duty to let them know, well, I'm not necessarily coaching you on that. I can consult you. And it's going to be a different price, because now I have to focus in on just this one thing. And my programs that I provide for my mentees as a coach may not be built just to provide that one thing. Do you understand what I'm saying? And I've got to focus in on that one person, as opposed to if I have a program that I coach people and I put a general base program together, I can coach 100 people based on this general format or package I put together, as opposed to me having to come over here and deal with this one person for this one thing. All right. And number three, don't package your coaching based on the project, because there is no definite timeline to certain projects. So how should you package your coaching? How should you package your coaching? Well, your coaching or your package should include, let me write this down. your coaching package should include an educational, consulting, and coaching component. I think this is one of the reasons why my coaching is different than a lot of people's coaching, because what I've done is I put coaching packages together that actually include education. So if you join my coaching program, I have a 1-year coaching program. It's called the Millionaire Mentorship Program. Well, one of the first benefits of this program is you get access to my 1-year business and financial wealth building system called the Millionaire Blueprint. Why? Because I want my coaching to provide education. All right. When you join my Millionaire Mentorship Program, which is my 1-year coaching program, you also get a self-assessment, which is the 5-point process that I use to consult my clients, most of whom are not necessarily coaching clients. People who my wife and I have consulted, whether they're real estate investors, whether they're groups of people, whether they're legitimate business owners who are building their businesses. A lot of the people that my wife and I have consulted, like on a real consulting level, they don't want to be coached and they don't want to be educated. They just want you to come in, figure out the problem, troubleshoot it, and fix it. That's how most people who want consultants operate. That's how they think. So my coaching program includes an element of consulting so that you can feel the feeling that a client feels when they're being consulted as opposed to coach. And most coaches don't even understand the difference between the two. But my coaching program also includes a coaching element because, again, it's 1 year. So the reason why I've created a 1-year program is because I have made the decision as a consultant that in order for me to service a client properly and effectively, it's most likely going to take me about a year for my client to learn how to start a business, how to structure it, how to work on their products and services, how to price them, how to package them, how to integrate systems, how to learn how to use those systems. I already know it's going to take the average client that I work with about a year just to start understanding the concepts and the principles that I teach when it comes to business and finance. So I make that decision for it to be a 1-year program. Okay, so you want to package your coaching based on the overall effectiveness and impact. All right, this is how you want to package your coaching. You want your coaching to be packaged based on the overall effectiveness and the overall impact that you can provide and make for a specific client. You do that by, number one, making sure that your package includes an educational, consulting, and coaching component. Number two, your package should provide in-person, virtual, and interactive elements. So if you package your coaching program correctly, there should be in-person elements to it. There should be a virtual element to it, and there should be some interactive element to it. So in person means they can come to an event. They could come in person. They could sit down with you either with a one-on-one, or they could sit down with you with a group of people when you're doing group coaching. Or it could be some type of mastermind. It could be some type of it could be some type of boot camp. All right. So I give my clients in my coaching program a lot of different options, but it should also include a virtual component. So one of our main virtual components in my coaching program is my weekly coaching calls. So every Monday at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern, we host a weekly coaching call where everybody can come together, no matter where they are, no matter what they're doing. Even if they're driving or, taking a break or traveling, they can jump on a virtual platform so that they don't have to get dressed and come in person. They could just come virtual and they don't even have to show their picture if they don't want to. They could just cut on the Zoom. They can listen in. They can hear what I'm teaching. They can get the answers from the questions other people are asking. But then your coaching needs to include some type of interactive element. This is where I host my workshops. My workshops are more interactive because we build our workshops in a way to teach you and to train you on the nuts and bolts of your sales, your marketing, your operations, and your financials. Okay, so your package should provide in-person, virtual, and interactive elements. All right. Number 3, my last point for what your for how you should package your coaching. Number 3, your package should assume a predetermined timeline. So your coaching package should assume a timeline, a predetermined timeline. This is one of the reasons why I don't like coaching per session. I don't like just doing coaching. Oh, I charge this for a session. I don't like that kind of coaching. One of the reasons is because I know if I sit down with you for one session, and it could be an hour, it could be 2 hours. I've coached people in sessions for 3 and 4 hours. I already know it's only a certain amount of information in that session you're going to remember. Most of the time, because I've coached so many people, most of the times, once I hit that 1 to 2 hour window in that one session, I know my client is going to start experiencing brain fatigue. Once you get to like 2 to 3 hours, their brain is fried. They're exhausted. They're tired. I know it because I've done it so many times. But the problem with that is if I package my coaching based on one-on-one sessions that you can come and just get one session and come back in 6 months and get another session and come back in a year, I know it's going to affect it's going to negatively affect the effectiveness of what I do. Why? Because you're not going to be held accountable for that one session after you leave that session. So as a coach, you have to make sure that your coaching assumes a predetermined timeline. So that means you're going to either have, I like to tell my clients, you should have at least a 3-month or 90-day coaching program at minimum. At minimum. That should be your minimum, 3 months. If you put a 3-month program together the right way, it's easy for you to just double it and duplicate it to make it 6 months. Because now, whatever you put together for this 3-month, 90-day program or 12 weeks, once you map it out and say, okay, this is what I'm going to do every week for 12 weeks. Once you put it together, all you have to do is double it and you have a 6-month program. If you put a 6-month program, you could double that and you could either do a 9 or a 12-month. But I'm telling you, if you are a real coach and you have done the due diligence, you have researched your perfect client, you know what it takes for your perfect client to learn what they need to learn and for them to be successful, you should already have a predetermined timeline in your coaching as a program because you know it's going to take them a certain amount of time. Because I always get this from people I coach. I've coached coaches and a lot of coaches tell me, well, I don't want to do a year because I just don't want to be committed that long. Well, that's your problem. That's why you don't have no business, because you're letting the client already know that you have not created or assumed a predetermined timeline for them because you ain't committed. Do you understand how crazy that sounds? I have literally had people pay me thousands of dollars to coach them, and I've sat in front of them and they have told me with a straight face, I do not want a 1-year coaching program because I don't want to commit to people that long. Well, this is why you ain't got no clients. Because most of the people that you probably coaching can't figure everything out in 90 days. And they definitely can't figure everything out in 1 or 2 or 3 just little sessions that you give them. They need time to learn these concepts. They need time to be educated. They need time to be held accountable. They need time to interact. They need time to fellowship and network and become a part of a community. They need time to integrate these things that they're learning into their business. They need time to fail, to mess up, to pivot, to reposition. They need time for all this stuff. And if you're not giving those people time because you're not thinking like a real coach thinks, then this is probably why you're not making any money. Okay? So that's the packaging side. I would love to know, just based on the packaging side of coaching, what your biggest takeaway is so far. Like, what have I said so far that you feel like, okay, that makes sense to me? I would love to know. I want you to put it in the comments. Let me know what your biggest takeaway is so far. And all we've covered was just the packaging. That's all we've covered so far. Just the packaging. I would love to know what your biggest takeaway was. And again, I do apologize to those of you that do comment a lot during our lives. If I don't respond during the live, it's because I really don't see everything that you're probably seeing. Of course, I'm the one talking and teaching, so I'm not going to see everything that you see. But just let me know what your biggest takeaway is so far. All right. And then I'll just give you a brief overview of what I covered so far. All right. So we're talking about how to package and price your coaching. All right. And so I'm sharing with you certain things you don't want to do when it comes to packaging and pricing your coaching, and certain things you do want to do. So when it comes to packaging, here's what I said. Don't package your coaching based on the project. All right. Why? Because project-based coaching is really consulting. Number 2, since every client has a different project, this will exhaust your effectiveness. And number 3, there is no definite timeline to certain projects. All right. My solution to packaging is this: package your coaching based on overall effectiveness and impact. Number 1, your package should include an educational, consulting, and coaching component. Number 2, your package should provide in-person, virtual, and interactive elements. Number 3, your package should assume a predetermined timeline. All right. So now let's look at the pricing of your coaching. I'm going to give you what you don't want to do, and then I'll give you what you do want to do. So when it comes to pricing your coaching, don't price by the hour. I just mentioned that. Don't price your coaching by the hour. I like literally, I have done it. I have like inserted hourly coaching sessions at certain points in my coaching career, but very minimally and temporarily. Like right now, you go to any of my websites, RamonPreston.com, Ramon Preston University, you ain't gonna see no hourly coaching sessions. You know why? Because number 1, I don't like coaching people by the hour. I don't like for somebody to just pay me a certain amount and I coach them for 1 hour or for 2 hours or for 3 hours. I don't like that. As a matter of fact, most of the coaching that I have done, like probably 99.9% of the coaching that almost all the coaching I've done has really been based on me putting together a program with a timeline with multiple components to that program. And one of the components at times may have included a one-on-one coaching session or 2 one-on-one coaching sessions or 3 depending on the price of the program. I've had low ticket coaching programs. I've had high ticket coaching programs. And depending on what type of coaching program I put together, which I put a few together in my career, that determines how many coaching sessions I provide. Outside of that, I'm not coaching people by the hour. So my don't, when it comes to pricing your coaching, my don't is don't price by the hour. Does that make sense? You don't want to price by the hour. Like when I see coaches do that, I'm like, yeah, you probably haven't been trained. You don't understand business. You don't value your time. You do not understand the client's needs. So it ain't just about you. It's also about the client. You don't understand the client's needs when you're pricing your coaching by the hour, because most clients cannot learn everything with just 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 random sessions or periodic sessions. They don't learn. They don't get it. It's not going to work for them. Like literally, I could sit down with a client for 2 or 3 hours and coach them in one session. And I could call them a month later and they probably don't remember most of what we talked about in that session. Period. And I have clients that have paid tens of thousands of dollars to work with me. And I've talked to them a couple months later and they're like, you know what? I totally forgot. I lost my notes. My phone broke and I lost everything I typed in. Like all kind of stuff happens. It doesn't work. All right. So don't price your coaching by the hour. Why not? Here's why. Hourly rates are centered around what works best for the coach, not the client. So most of the times when you price your coaching by the hour, you just thinking about your time. You just thinking about your convenience. You just thinking about what you capable of doing. You ain't really thinking about what the client needs. Because if you think for the client, which most coaches don't, the people who really think for their clients are consultants. Okay? Most of the people who think for their clients are consultants. Okay? So hourly rates are centered around what works best for the coach, not the client. Second reason why you don't want to price by the hour. Hourly rates are perceived as more expensive. So let's say you charge $100 an hour, right? So that means in order for me to sit with you for 3 hours, I got to pay $300. I would probably rather, so that means if I sit with you for one session for 3 hours, it's going to cost me $300. I would rather join a program for $300 a month that has 15 different components to it rather than just me sitting down with you for 3 hours and spending $300 one time. Because most likely if I spend that $300 and sit down with you one time or $100, I might not even come back because I don't feel like I got everything I needed because I have no other offers or options. And don't tell me, well, if they come pay $100 for an hour, I'll just upsell them to my next program. It don't always work that way. It don't work that way. Most of the time, you never even get a chance to upsell them because they're not even buying in on the hourly coaching because clients even know an hour coaching ain't gonna work. All right. Number 3, the third reason why you don't want to price by the hour is because hourly rates are not scalable since they're dependent upon your time and convenience. Hope you understand that. So don't price your coaching by the hour. All right. So what should you do? Here's what you should do. You should price your coaching based on the value. You should price your coaching based on the value. So listen to this. Number 1, your prices should reflect the results you produce for your clients. That's what your prices should reflect. So all you have to do is go to my website and look at my coaching program prices and you'll see, oh, okay, right now we have an offer that's ending today and it's a payment plan offer. For our coaching program, we have 2 options. One starts at $169 a month or $2,000 one time. The other one is $299 a month or $3,500 one time. So that means for 1 year, you could pay $169 for 12 months. And there are certain components you're going to get. You're going to get training online. You're going to get weekly coaching calls. You're going to get 2 or 3 in-person events that you can attend. You're going to get concierge service. So you get in a community of accountability. You get me and my team mentoring you for a whole year, and it's like $169 a month or $2,000, right? But my point in bringing that up is I've put it together based on the value that you get, because you might pay $169 a month, but I guarantee if you do everything I'm giving you to do within a month, you're probably going to make not just $169 more, you're probably going to save more than $169 and probably make $1,699 if you take what I teach you and put it together. So I have to price my coaching based on the value that I'm giving to the client. I want my client to know that, okay, he's giving me a whole lot. He's over delivering. And he's giving me way more than what I'm paying for, and it incentivizes them to stay the course for that length of time. So price based on value. Number one, your prices should reflect the results you produce for your client. Number two, your prices should ladder up based on time and difficulty. Okay, so let me show you how this works. And I'm just trying to give you a quick overview of how this works. So for me, I have a $169 a month or $2K a year coaching program, right? Then I have a $299 a month or 3.5K a year program. So each of these programs, they represent a certain amount of education. They represent weekly coaching calls. They represent a certain number of workshops and in-person events, more workshops, more in-person events, boot camps, masterminds. But if this is not enough for a client, or if a client goes through this particular program and they feel like they need more, or they start excelling and building their business, my prices need to ladder up based on time and difficulty. So I have some clients who say, you know what, I love the coaching, but I need you to help me build my systems and my processes out. All right. I need you to really give me the insights into how do I build my sales CRM? How do I build my operational system? How do I put my team roles and responsibilities together? How do I work on my KPIs? Well, I have another program up that ladder that you can go. I have some people who say, you know what, I don't just want to be coached by you, but I want to be under your tutelage. I want to be a part of your brand. I want to use your curriculum. Well, I have a program that we can license our clients. So if you see, based on the time and the difficulty of my relationship and how much I have to put in with regard to resources and expertise, it determines the price of my program. But all of it is essentially coaching, consulting, and training. So your prices should ladder up based on time and difficulty. All right. And number three, your prices should encompass industry and category. So what that means is, you might not charge the same for life coaching as you will for business coaching. But then there are certain aspects in business coaching that you might charge less for because of the type of business coaching that you're providing. This is where you really have to start getting good at making great offers, putting great products and services and programs together, and increasing the value proposition of everything that you give to your client. So this is just a little one show cram course on how to package and price your coaching. So again, if you are a coach and you're looking to become a 6-figure coach because you want to build a legitimate coaching business, you want to service your clients at the highest level, I want to extend an offer to you today. All right. My offer to you is this. We have a coaching boot camp, which includes an online course and 1 day of training, a in-person or virtual boot camp. This coaching boot camp teaches you all 20 points of my coaching process, my consulting process. So we literally teach you about the industry of coaching, about categories of coaching. We teach you about the concept. We show you the difference between coaching and consulting and how you're supposed to build each of those divisions out, how the prices and the packages for coaching and consulting should be different. We show you how to add an educational component to your coaching business. We even show you how to take whatever you do right now as an entrepreneur in terms of the products and services that you provide, and how to use that to build your coaching business. So for example, you could be a hairdresser. So how do you provide coaching and consulting and education as a hairdresser? Those are 3 different businesses you can build just from being a hairdresser or being a landscaper. We show you how to do that. We teach you about client acquisition. We teach you about client onboarding. We teach you about client services. We show you how to draft your contracts and your agreements for your training courses, for your online courses, for your coaching services, for your programs, for your consulting. We give you sample contracts in this online course and in this boot camp. So if you're a coach, or if you're ready to be a coach and you want to build a legitimate 6-figure coaching business and you want to learn from somebody who's actually done it 3 to 4 times over. I've done it. So I have a whole coaching division that I've done this for. I have a whole consulting division that I've done it for. I have a whole educational division that I've done it for. So I know how to do it multiple times over. All you need to do is text the word coach to 678-276-8253. So here's what's happening right now. On Saturday, March the 25th, that's about 6 weeks from now, I'm gonna be hosting my first coaching boot camp. This is going to be the 1 day of training that I provide to walk you through all the ins and outs of the 20-point process that I use to coach and consult my clients. But what I want to do is I want to give you access to the online course. So you have at least 6 weeks to go through the whole course so that you can already start learning the concepts and the principles behind becoming a 6-figure coach. And then we will converge on this 1 day of training, March the 25th, and we'll dot the I's, we'll cross the T's, and we'll make sure that between this online course and this 1 day of training, that you are putting together a legitimate 6-figure coaching business. So I want you to get in on it. All you have to do is text the word coach to 678-276-8253. I hope you've enjoyed the show today. I'm really trying my best to reach as many people who are in the coaching space or who want to be in the coaching space, because I believe within the next 3 years, as we see a total shift in business, in the marketplace, in the economy, I truly believe that the people who are going to win the most and the biggest are the people who reposition themselves in the market as experts. That is, coaches, consultants, and educators. And if you can figure out how to build a business and bring all 3 of those components together and be best in your space with those 3, you're probably going to be one of the 20 to 25 million people who will become millionaires in the next 3 years. And I know that I have a framework, I have a formula and a blueprint that can help you make that happen. So text the word coach to 678-276-8253, and we'll be more than happy to answer any questions that you have. It's just as simple as that. You text coach to this number, we reach back out to you. You give us whatever information you want to give us as far as what you're doing right now and what you want to do. You ask us any questions and we will show you how we can help you build a 6-figure coaching business. It's simple as that. And as long as we come to terms and agree on what we know we can do for you and you want that done, we can give you instant access to our online course today so you can start training, and then you can make plans to join me on March the 25th for our 1 day of training in our coaching boot camp. And I guarantee within the next 6 weeks, your life and your business ain't gonna be the same. I've done it for me. I'm doing it for a lot of people that we're already coaching, who are in the coaching space, and I want to make that happen for you. So text coach to 678-276-8253. Otherwise, we'll see you on Monday. Have an amazing weekend, and thank you again for joining the Ramon Preston Show.